The cold emptiness of space stretched out endlessly, glittering with distant stars like diamonds scattered across a black ocean. Captain Arya Kellen floated silently in the observation deck of the Odyssey, her eyes fixed on the void beyond. Every mission briefing had warned her team, humans cannot survive the vast emptiness of space without proper limits. And yet, here they were, millions of kilometers from Earth, defying every expectation. Arya's hand hovered over the console, feeling the vibrations of the ship as it hummed softly. Around her, the crew worked quietly, each focused on their tasks. Dr. Elian Moore adjusted the oxygen levels for the hydroponic labs, ensuring the tiny green shoots of Earth's flora were still alive. Lieutenant Rena Zhou monitored the ship's shields, scanning for cosmic radiation spikes that could fry the electronics in seconds. And Commander Jace Harlow, the team leader, stood by the airlock, checking the coordinates against the projected map of the unknown system ahead. No one spoke, but tension hummed through the room like electricity. Space was beautiful, but it was also merciless. One wrong calculation, one minor failure, and everything could end in silence. Arya remembered the countless scientists on Earth who had said humanity would never survive out here. They called it impossible, reckless. But she and her team had spent years preparing, training, and dreaming. Tonight, their proof would begin. The first challenge came sooner than expected. A sudden alarm rang through the Odyssey. Red lights flashed. Radiation spike in Sector 5. Rena shouted, her voice tight with urgency. Arya bolted to the navigation console, scanning for the source. "It's a rogue asteroid field," Jace said, his jaw set. "Its trajectory wasn't in any of the charts. We need to reroute, now." Elian's fingers danced over the lab controls. "Radiation levels rising. If we don't shield the living quarters, the plants, and possibly us, we'll be exposed." Arya's heart pounded. Space had tested them immediately, throwing an invisible wall of danger into their path. But there was no room for fear. Every second counted. She entered new coordinates, adjusting the Odyssey's course just as a streak of light flashed past the viewport, a chunk of asteroid narrowly missing the ship's hull. The team exhaled collectively. That had been close. Too close. "Good work," Jay said, his voice calm but carrying a weight that reminded them all of what was at stake. "But this is only the beginning. We're venturing into uncharted space. Nothing out here behaves like Earth. Nothing waits for us to be ready." Arya nodded, staring again into the void. It was mesmerizing. She thought of Earth, its blue oceans, green forests, warm sunlight, and how far away it now seemed. She thought of her younger self, reading stories of astronauts and explorers, imagining herself among the stars. And now, that dream was terrifyingly real. Hours passed in tense silence, the ship drifting through a field of glowing cosmic dust. Suddenly, the ship's sensors detected something impossible, a faint signal. A pattern in the static that didn't belong to any known natural phenomenon. "Elian, do you see this?" Arya asked, pointing at the monitor. Elian leaned over, squinting at the codes scrolling across the screen. It's artificial," he whispered. "Somebody, or something, is out there." The crew froze. Space was full of silence, but this was different. This was communication. Or a warning. Jace ran his hands through his hair. "Can it reach us? Could it be hostile?" Arya shook her head. "We won't know until we investigate. But we have to. This could be the proof humanity has been searching for, or the danger we feared most." The Odyssey adjusted its course toward the source of the signal, every movement precise, careful. The closer they got, the more the signal grew, forming a strange melody of pulses and vibrations. It was hypnotic, almost alive. The crew felt it in their bones, a mixture of awe and dread that made their hearts race. Then, without warning, the lights flickered, and the ship shuddered violently. The monitors went dark for a split second before returning to life. "What just happened?" Rena gasped. "I don't know," Arya said, gripping the console. "It wasn't the asteroid field. It's coming from the signal." For a long moment, no one moved. Outside the viewport, the stars seemed to twist and swirl, as if reality itself was bending. Then a shadow passed in front of the ship. Something massive, something alive, or something designed to look alive, glided silently through space. Arya swallowed hard. The impossible had just become real. Humanity had ventured into the stars, and now the stars were responding. Jace's voice was steady but low. "Team, hold tight. This is why we came here. We're about to prove them wrong." And with that, the Odyssey moved closer to the unknown, carrying humanity's hope and fear together into the infinite dark. The Odyssey drifted closer to the shadow, its hull vibrating lightly as the crew watched in silence. What they saw through the viewport was unlike anything they had imagined. A massive structure floated in space, enormous and alien, glowing faintly with colors that shifted like liquid metal. Its surface was smooth yet patterned, almost organic, as if it had grown in the vacuum rather than being built. Arya's eyes widened. It's not a ship," she whispered. "It's something else." Elian pressed his hands against the console, scanning for energy readings. "Life signs." "There are faint readings," he said, confusion in his voice. "But they don't match any known species. Nothing human, nothing animal. Maybe it's an intelligence we can't even imagine." Rena swallowed hard. "And it's huge. Way bigger than our ship. Way bigger than anything humans have built." Jace leaned over the viewport, studying the alien structure. "We've gone beyond the limits of our knowledge. If anyone back on Earth could see this, they'd call it impossible. But here we are. We're the first humans to actually witness it." A sudden pulse of light from the alien structure bathed the Odyssey in an eerie glow. Alarms went off, small beeps and flashes warning of a surge in the ship's energy readings. Arya ran to the control panel. "Shields up. Maximum power," she commanded. The crew moved quickly, fingers flying over their consoles, hearts pounding. The light passed, leaving the ship intact but leaving an unsettled silence behind. No one spoke for a long moment, as if the universe itself had held its breath. Then, a strange sound filled the ship. Not through speakers, but vibrating in the hull itself. A low, melodic hum that seemed to reach inside their minds. Each crew member felt it differently. Arya felt curiosity mixed with fear, Rena felt her heartbeat quicken, Elian felt a strange warmth, and Jace felt the weight of responsibility heavier than ever. What is that?" Arya asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know," Elian said. "But it feels like it's communicating." The idea was terrifying and thrilling at the same time. Humans had never spoken to anything like this before. The signal was intelligent, deliberate, and powerful. For a moment, Arya wondered if humanity was really ready for this. Suddenly, the structure moved. Slowly, almost gracefully, it shifted closer to the Odyssey. The crew could see intricate patterns of light flowing across its surface, almost like veins, and the feeling of being watched became overwhelming. "Keep calm," Jace said firmly, though his own voice betrayed a hint of tension. "We don't know its intentions. But retreat is not an option. We need data. Humanity needs proof. And we might survive this if we act smart." Elian nodded and activated the ship's scanners again, trying to capture every detail. "It's alive, Captain. But not like anything we've seen. I don't think it breathes or eats like humans or animals. Its energy is different. It's almost sentient." Arya felt a shiver run down her spine. Space had always been dangerous, unpredictable. But this was something entirely new. Something that could test humanity's courage and resilience in ways they could not yet imagine. A sudden vibration rocked the ship. The Odyssey tilted slightly, and warning lights flashed red. Rena yelled, hull integrity dropping. "That thing, it's manipulating space around us." Arya gritted her teeth, clinging to the console. "Focus. We can't panic. Adjust the shields. Recalibrate the engines for a possible evasive maneuver." Minutes stretched into what felt like hours. The alien presence surrounded them, not attacking, but probing. The crew realized that this intelligence was studying them as much as they were studying it. It was a silent conversation of curiosity, power, and perhaps even respect. Then, just as suddenly as it had started, the alien structure moved away, leaving the Odyssey in silence again. The ship trembled slightly, and the crew exhaled, tension finally leaving their bodies in a slow wave. Arya turned to her team, eyes wide but determined. This is why we came here. They said humans can't survive space, that we're weak, fragile. But we're still here. And now, we've met the impossible. Jace placed a hand on her shoulder. This is only the beginning. We have proof humans can survive. And now, maybe, proof that the universe is far stranger than we imagined. Elian stared at the screens, a mixture of awe and fear in his eyes. We have to understand it. Learn from it. If humans can survive this, we can survive anything. The Odyssey continued its journey, moving deeper into the unknown. Stars stretched across the black canvas like silent witnesses, and the alien structure slowly disappeared into the distance. But its presence lingered in the minds of the crew, a reminder that humanity's first steps into deep space were only the start of a much larger story. Arya looked out at the void, feeling the weight of history and destiny pressing down. Humanity had survived the impossible, but the universe had just begun to test them, and they would have to rise to every challenge. The Odyssey drifted through the silent darkness, leaving the alien structure behind. But its presence lingered in the minds of the crew, a quiet reminder that the universe was far stranger than they had ever imagined. Arya sat in the observation deck, staring at the stars. She felt a mixture of awe and unease. Humanity had survived space before, but now they were facing something that might be beyond survival itself. "Captain," Rena's voice broke the silence. "We've detected unusual energy readings ahead. They match the pattern of the structure we just saw." Arya stood quickly, gripping the console. "How close is it?" "About 50,000 kilometers," Rena replied. "It's moving again. And it's heading straight for us." Elian's eyes widened. "It's following us. Or maybe it wants us to follow it." Jace clenched his jaw. "Either way, we need to be ready. Prepare the scanners. Full observation mode. And keep the shields at maximum." The crew moved quickly, each member focused and tense. The Odyssey adjusted its course, moving toward the source of the energy. As they approached, the alien structure came into view again. This time, it was closer, and its surface seemed even more alive, pulsating with energy and light. Arya swallowed hard. "It's beautiful," she whispered, unable to look away. "But dangerous." Suddenly, the structure released a pulse of energy. The ship shuddered violently. Alarms screamed. Red lights bathed the deck as the crew struggled to maintain control. Hull integrity dropping. Rena shouted, "We need to stabilize." Elian's hands flew over the controls. "It's not attacking, at least, not directly. It's testing us. Measuring our reactions. Our systems are holding, but barely." Jace's voice cut through the chaos. "Everyone, stay calm. This is the test. We survive by staying smart, not panicked." Minutes passed like hours. The alien presence seemed to probe them, shifting and twisting in ways that defied human understanding. Then, as suddenly as it had started, the pulse stopped. Silence returned, leaving the crew shaking but alive. Arya took a deep breath. "We need to understand it. Why is it here? What does it want?" Elian shook his head. "I don't think it wants to harm us. At least, not yet. It's curious. It's studying us, like we're studying it. But it's powerful. And we're small." Jace nodded. "Then we proceed carefully. We learn what we can, and we stay alive. That's our mission." As the Odyssey moved closer, the crew discovered something unexpected. The structure was not alone. Smaller, drone-like shapes emerged from its surface, moving with precision and intelligence. They circled the ship, scanning, analyzing, communicating in ways that humans could barely detect. Life forms? Rena asked, tension in her voice. I wouldn't call them that, Elian said, eyes glued to the monitors. They're extensions of the main structure, like sensors, but alive. They respond to us. And they're fast. Aria's heart raced. We need to approach slowly. Make no sudden moves. Show we're not a threat. The crew obeyed, adjusting the Odyssey's speed. The alien drones mirrored their movements, keeping pace, observing every detail. The atmosphere in the ship was thick with tension, a silent game of trust and caution unfolding in the void. Suddenly, a bright beam of light shot from the structure toward the ship. The crew ducked instinctively as the light wrapped around the hull. The sensors went wild, reading impossible energy fluctuations. It's scanning us, Elian said, voice trembling. It's analyzing everything, our systems, our DNA, even our thoughts. Aria felt a strange sensation, as if the ship itself had become a part of the structure's mind. Images flashed in her mind, memories, dreams, fragments of thoughts. She realized the intelligence was not just external. It was connecting with them, reaching inside. Jace gritted his teeth. Stay focused. Don't panic. Let's learn from this. Humanity survives by adapting. Minutes passed. The light faded, leaving the ship intact. The alien drones withdrew, and the main structure drifted away, slowly disappearing into the darkness. The crew exhaled collectively, hearts pounding. Silence returned, but it was heavy with understanding. They had survived the first true challenge, and the alien presence had acknowledged them. Aria turned to the team. They said humans can't survive space. That we're too weak. Too fragile. But here we are, facing the unknown, and we're still standing. Elian nodded. And if we keep learning, keep adapting, maybe, we can survive anything the universe throws at us. Jace's gaze was steady, resolute. This is just the beginning. We've proven we can survive. But the universe has many more tests waiting for us. And we'll face them. Together. As the Odyssey continued deeper into uncharted space, the stars stretched endlessly around them. The alien structure was gone for now, but its presence remained in their minds, a reminder that survival was only the first step. The real challenge had just begun. Aria looked out at the void, feeling the weight of the journey ahead. Humanity had survived the impossible once, and they would have to survive it again, many times over, before they could truly understand the universe. The Odyssey drifted silently, the stars stretching endlessly around it. The crew remained alert, their eyes fixed on the empty darkness outside the viewport. The alien structure had vanished for now, but its presence lingered in every corner of the ship, like a shadow that refused to leave. Aria paced the observation deck, her mind racing. We need to understand it, she said finally. It's not just observing us. It's trying to communicate. And we have to respond. Jace nodded, rubbing his jaw. We don't know its intentions. But curiosity is our weapon. We'll approach carefully, and we'll try to establish contact. That's the only way to survive, and learn. Elian adjusted the sensors, preparing for an encounter. We can send a signal, he said. Something simple. A pattern. Something that shows intelligence but no aggression. If it's alive, it should recognize it. Rena's fingers hovered over the console. Do we know it will respond? What if it interprets us as a threat? Aria turned sharply. Then we adapt. Humanity survives by thinking, by learning, by staying calm under pressure. This is our chance to prove it, to ourselves and to the universe. With a deep breath, Elian initiated the signal. A rhythmic pulse of light and energy shot from the Odyssey, small and deliberate. The crew held their breath as the void waited. Moments later, a response came. The alien structure shimmered in the distance, its surface rippling like water. The pulse returned, faster this time, a sequence that mirrored the ship's signal but with added complexity. "It's responding," Arya whispered, awe breaking through her tension. "It recognizes us. It understands we're intelligent." Jace stepped forward. "Keep calm. Observe carefully. We don't know what this sequence means yet." 4 hours, the Odyssey and the alien structure exchanged signals, a silent dialogue carried out in pulses of light and energy. The crew watched the displays, trying to decode patterns, finding hints of logic, mathematics, even emotion hidden in the alien language. Then, something unexpected happened. A small section of the structure separated, a pod-like object that moved toward the Odyssey slowly, deliberately. "Look at that," Rena said, voice tense. "It's coming closer to us." Elian's hands trembled slightly as he analyzed the readings. "It's scanning us more closely, maybe even mapping our ship. But it's not hostile. At least, not yet." Arya's heart raced. "We need to respond. Slowly. Let it know we mean no harm." She tapped a sequence into the console, a simple pattern of pulses matching the alien pod's movements. The pod paused mid-space, almost as if considering her gesture. Then, with a sudden flash, it projected a holographic map into the void between them. Stars, planets, and strange symbols appeared, unlike any human chart. Jace stepped closer, eyes wide. "It's showing us a route. Coordinates. Something beyond our current knowledge." Elian's voice was barely audible. "It's giving us access to information. Something it thinks we're ready for. Something important." The crew exchanged stunned glances. Humanity had never received guidance from an alien intelligence before. This was beyond survival. This was opportunity. Arya swallowed hard. "If we follow this, we might discover something that changes everything. But it could also be dangerous. We have no idea what's waiting there." Jace placed a hand on her shoulder. "We've survived the impossible before. We'll survive this too. Humanity adapts. We learn. And we survive." The pod hovered a moment longer, then slowly returned to the main structure. The glowing surface of the alien intelligence shimmered one last time before it retreated, leaving the crew with a holographic map floating silently in space. Rena stepped forward, fingers trembling. "Are we really going to follow it?" Arya's eyes shone with determination. "We have no choice. This is what we came here for. To prove that humans can survive space, and to discover what no one else ever has." Elian studied the map, tracing the alien symbols with his fingers. "The coordinates, they lead beyond the known system. Beyond anything mapped by humans. It's a journey into true unknown space." Jace nodded. "Then we prepare. We follow the path. And we keep humanity alive while we do it." The crew worked in tense silence, preparing the ship for the journey ahead. Every system was checked, every calculation verified. The Odyssey had survived dangers before, but this was different. The unknown was no longer abstract. It was real, deliberate, and waiting. As the ship adjusted its course along the alien path, Arya returned to the observation deck. The stars stretched endlessly before them, and the void seemed more alive than ever. The alien intelligence had chosen to guide them, but the journey ahead was uncertain. For the first time, humanity was not just surviving space. They were stepping into it with purpose, curiosity, and courage. Arya looked at her team, her crew, her family in this silent void. They said humans can't survive space. They were wrong. But now, we face the greatest challenge yet. And together, we will meet it. The Odyssey moved forward, deeper into the unknown, carrying humanity's hope, courage, and determination into the vast, mysterious darkness. The Odyssey glided silently through the void, following the alien coordinates that stretched far beyond human charts. The crew worked in tense coordination, every eye on the monitors, every hand ready for action. Arya felt the weight of responsibility heavier than ever. They weren't just surviving space anymore, They were stepping into mysteries no human had ever touched. "Captain," Rena's voice broke the silence. "We're approaching a gravitational anomaly. Readings are fluctuating, stronger than anything we've seen before." Arya leaned over the console, eyes scanning the instruments. "How strong?" "Enough to pull a ship off course if we're not careful. And the sensors are detecting strange readings in the anomaly itself. Energy we can't explain." Jace frowned. "This is a test. The alien intelligence gave us the path, but it's not protecting us. We navigate carefully, or we risk everything." Elian adjusted the ship's stabilizers. "It's like the anomaly is alive. It reacts to us, shifts as we move. The path isn't fixed. We need to think fast and adapt." Arya swallowed hard. "Everyone, focus. We survive because we stay calm, stay smart. Let's move slowly, step by step." The Odyssey entered the anomaly cautiously. Stars bent around them, light twisting like liquid in the black void. The ship shook as invisible forces tugged at it. Alarms flashed red. "Shields at maximum," Arya shouted. "Engines stable, don't let the anomaly control us." Minutes passed in tense silence. The anomaly shifted unpredictably, massive gravitational waves threatening to crush the ship. But the crew adapted, recalibrating the engines, adjusting shields, riding the waves instead of fighting them. Then, without warning, a bright streak of energy shot across the viewport. The anomaly was alive, not a planet, not a storm, but a sentient force unlike anything humans had ever faced. The Odyssey trembled violently, lights flickering, alarms screaming. "Brace for impact," Jace shouted. The ship lurched. Panels flew loose, and the crew clung to consoles. The structure of the anomaly pressed against them, pushing, testing, challenging. Arya's fingers flew over the controls, every movement precise. "Engage evasive maneuvers," she shouted. "Follow the alien coordinates exactly." The Odyssey twisted, turned, and surged forward, narrowly avoiding collisions with invisible walls of energy. The alien guidance pulsed again, small lights and signals that helped them navigate the deadly path. It was like the intelligence had expected this challenge, leaving them just enough information to survive, but not too much to make it easy. Rena's voice trembled. We're still in it, but barely. The readings are off the charts. If we make one wrong move." "No room for mistakes," Arya said firmly. "We survive because we think, because we act together. Remember why we're here." Elian checked the sensors again. "The anomaly is responding to us, it's studying us. Our reactions, our teamwork, our decision-making. It's like a test of humanity itself." Jace nodded. "Then we pass it. Humanity survives because we adapt. Because we face impossible odds and keep going. That's what makes us strong." The anomaly pulsed one final time, massive waves of energy rolling over the Odyssey. The crew held their ground, shields straining, engines roaring. Then, as suddenly as it began, the anomaly released them. The ship floated in calm darkness, the danger gone, leaving them shaken but alive. Arya exhaled, gripping the console. "We survived. We faced the impossible. And we made it through." Rena wiped sweat from her forehead. "Barely. That was insane." Elian's voice was quiet but awed. "The alien intelligence, it knows what humans can endure. It's testing us, but it trusts us enough to guide us. This is survival at the next level." Jace looked at the crew, pride and determination shining in his eyes. "This is why humans can survive space. We face danger head-on. We adapt. And we never give up. That's who we are." Arya gazed out at the stars, the vast void stretching endlessly. Humanity had survived impossible odds before, but this was different. The universe was testing them, not just for survival, but for understanding, for growth, for proving that humans belonged among the stars. The Odyssey continued along the alien path, deeper into uncharted space. The anomaly faded behind them, leaving only quiet darkness and the distant glow of unknown systems ahead. Arya turned to her crew, her heart steady. They said humans can't survive space. They were wrong. We survived impossible odds today. And this is only the beginning. Whatever comes next, we face it together. The ship moved forward, carrying humanity's courage, determination, and hope into the unknown. The alien intelligence watched silently, and the void held its secrets, waiting for the humans brave enough to claim them. The Odyssey glided through silent space, leaving the anomaly behind. The crew was exhausted, hearts still racing from the near-death encounter, but their determination had only grown stronger. They had survived the impossible once more, and now the alien path continued, leading them deeper into the unknown. "Captain," Rena said softly, "we're receiving another signal. It's different this time. Stronger. More complex. Almost personal." Arya's eyes narrowed. "Personal." Elian nodded, scanning the readings. "It's not just energy or data. It feels like it's aware of us. It's reaching out, trying to communicate in a way we can understand." Jace leaned over the console. "Then we respond carefully. We don't know what we're dealing with yet, but we've survived this far. We can handle whatever comes next." The Odyssey followed the signal, moving toward a distant, glowing object. As they approached, the crew realized it wasn't a structure like before. It was massive and alive. A colossal entity floated in space, its surface shimmering with ever-changing colors, like a living tapestry of light and energy. "Is that breathing?" Rena asked, her voice barely audible. Elian shook his head. "It doesn't breathe like humans. But it pulses, in a way that suggests intelligence, awareness, even emotion." Arya gripped the console. "We've made it this far. We survive because we adapt. Let's see what it wants." The entity extended a massive appendage, or what looked like an appendage, toward the Odyssey. A beam of energy connected the ship to the creature, and suddenly, the crew felt something impossible, a shared consciousness. Images, thoughts, and emotions flooded their minds. Elian gasped. "It's communicating directly inside our minds." Arya steadied herself, focusing. The images were overwhelming: vast star systems, unknown civilizations, and a warning. A warning of danger far beyond anything humanity had ever faced. Jace's voice was steady. "Everyone, focus. Remember who we are. Humans survive by thinking, by adapting, by facing impossible odds. We can do this." The entity's thoughts became clearer. It wasn't hostile. It was guiding them, showing them a path through the universe, but it also carried a message. Something ancient, powerful, and destructive was coming, and humanity had to be ready. Arya's pulse quickened. This is bigger than us. Bigger than anything we've faced. But we survived the anomaly, and we'll survive this too. We have to." Elian pointed to a holographic projection emerging from the entity. Symbols, star maps, and unknown technologies glowed in the void. "It's giving us knowledge humanity could never have imagined. About survival, about space, about ourselves." Rena swallowed hard. "But why us? Why humans?" Jace's eyes burned with determination. "Because we survive. We adapt. We endure. That's what it sees in us. That's why it trusts us to carry this knowledge forward." Suddenly, the entity's glow intensified. A pulse of energy rocked the Odyssey, and the ship's systems surged. Panels flickered, alarms went off, but the crew held steady, adapting instantly to every shift. Arya's voice was calm but firm. "This is what humans do. We survive. No matter what the universe throws at us, we face it together. We endure. We rise." The shared consciousness faded, leaving the crew breathless. The entity drifted back, hovering in the distance, a silent guardian of knowledge and warning. Elian shook his head, still processing. "We just communicated with an intelligence beyond our understanding. It shared knowledge, warnings, even strategies. We survived, and it trusts us. Aria's eyes met her crew's. They said humans can't survive space. They were wrong. We've faced the impossible, adapted, and endured. And now, we've been entrusted with something far greater. Humanity's journey is just beginning. Jace nodded. Whatever comes next, we are ready. Together. As humans. As survivors. As explorers. And nothing, not even the universe itself, can stop us. The Odyssey adjusted its course along the alien path, carrying humanity's hope, courage, and newfound knowledge into the vast, mysterious darkness. Ahead lay unimaginable challenges, but the crew faced them with unwavering resolve. For the first time, humanity was not just surviving space. They were stepping into it with purpose, guidance, and the determination to prove themselves among the stars. Arya looked at her crew, her family in this silent void. They said humans can't survive space. We've survived everything so far, and we will survive whatever comes next. Together. The stars stretched endlessly before them, each one a challenge, a mystery, and an opportunity. The universe had tested humanity, and humanity had passed. But the greatest test was still ahead, and the Odyssey moved forward, carrying the spirit of survival into the unknown. The Odyssey drifted through the darkness, following the alien path deeper into uncharted space. The crew had survived anomalies, alien intelligence, and impossible odds. But nothing had prepared them for what came next. "Captain," Rena's voice trembled. "We're approaching something. The readings are off the charts. Energy levels, gravity fluctuations, it's massive. Way beyond anything we've seen." Arya leaned over the console, scanning the instruments. "How massive?" Elian's eyes widened. "It's like a planet, but alive. Or a machine, or something in between. The energy signatures suggest intelligence. And it's moving." Jace's jaw tightened. "This is it. The ultimate test. Whatever it is, we face it together. We survive. That's what humans do." The Odyssey approached cautiously. Through the viewport, the crew saw it, a colossal entity stretching across space like a living fortress, glowing with waves of energy that bent light around it. Stars seemed to twist and shimmer as if reality itself was being rewritten. Arya swallowed hard. "We've come this far. We survive because we adapt. Let's move carefully, step by step." As they neared, the entity sent out pulses, massive waves of energy that threatened to crush the ship. Alarms screamed. Panels shook. The crew gripped consoles and railings as the Odyssey was tossed like a leaf in a storm. "Shields at maximum," Arya shouted. "Engines stable. We ride it, we don't fight it." The pulses intensified, testing every system aboard the ship. But the crew adapted, recalibrating shields, adjusting thrust, and synchronizing with the alien pulses. It was a battle of will, not weapons. Then, a voice, or something like a voice, echoed inside their minds. Not words, but emotions, images, understanding. The entity was testing them, not to destroy them, but to see if humanity could endure, think, and act as one. Elian gasped. "It's judging us. Our courage, our intelligence, our unity." Arya closed her eyes, focusing. She imagined the team, the ship, every system working in perfect harmony. "We survive together. That's humanity. We endure. We adapt. We rise." The entity pulsed again, and this time, the Odyssey moved through it, unscathed. The crew realized the pulses had been guidance, a path through the energy waves that no human calculation alone could navigate. Rena exhaled. "We made it. We're okay." Jace nodded, pride and relief mixing in his voice. "Humanity survives because we face the impossible. We don't run. We don't give up. We think, we adapt, we endure." Then, the entity revealed something astonishing. A projection emerged before them, stars, planets, and civilizations unknown to humans. And at the center, a warning, a colossal force approaching from the outer galaxy, a destructive energy that could annihilate entire systems. Elian's voice shook. It's a threat. Something massive, something unstoppable. It could destroy everything. Arya's eyes blazed. Then we survive. We adapt. We find a way. Humanity has faced extinction before in thought and theory, and we've always endured. This time, we'll do it in reality. Jace's hand rested on her shoulder. We're not alone. The intelligence has trusted us. It's given knowledge, guidance. Now it's our turn to act. We survive, and we protect what we can. The crew worked as one. The Odyssey moved with precision, using the alien knowledge to chart a safe course, preparing systems, shields, and strategies for the coming challenge. Every human instinct, every bit of training, every ounce of courage mattered. Hours passed, tension stretching every nerve, until finally, the colossal entity seemed to acknowledge them. Its energy wave softened, a silent approval of their endurance, intelligence, and courage. The crew felt an unspoken message. Humanity had passed the ultimate test. Arya looked at her team, exhausted but resolute. They said humans can't survive space. They were wrong. We've faced impossible odds, adapted to the unknown, and endured. And now, we've proven that humans belong among the stars. Rena smiled, wiping sweat from her brow. And we'll face whatever comes next. Together. Elian nodded. The knowledge we've gained, the warnings, it's a chance to protect our species. To survive, thrive, and explore further than anyone thought possible. Jace's eyes scanned the viewport, the stars stretching endlessly before them. Humanity survives because we never stop. We face the impossible. We adapt. We endure. And we rise. That's who we are. That's why we survive. The Odyssey adjusted its course once more, moving forward along the alien path, deeper into uncharted space. Ahead lay danger, discovery, and opportunity. Humanity's journey had only just begun, but one thing was certain, they would survive. Arya turned to the crew, her voice strong and clear. They said humans can't survive space. We've survived. We've adapted. We've risen. And we will continue to survive, no matter what the universe throws at us. The stars stretched endlessly before them, infinite, mysterious, and beautiful. Humanity had faced the impossible and prevailed. And as the Odyssey moved forward, carrying the courage, hope, and determination of an entire species, one truth became clear. Humans didn't just survive, they thrived. The universe was vast, dangerous, and unknown. But humanity endured.